Look, dating me is not that hard. Text me a couple times a day, take me on a couple dates a month, maybe a couple trips a year. If you can't do that, please leave me alone. I'm busy. I'm single mom with 3 kids, 2 jobs, one house payment, and zero time for bullshit. What?
Okay, so how come, like, when you're single and dating and talking to someone, why is Elton John Christmas music playing? Anyway, why do they always ask, what are you looking for? Also, I spill iced coffee. Please don't mind that steam. I'm looking for a husband. I'm old. I'm 41. I'm obviously looking for a husband.
I need a man. You heard me right. I need a man. I need a man that will spoil me silly.
What?
I need a man that will pamper me. I don't need the one that we're going to struggle together. No, I don't need that one. Been there, done that. I have struggled with, I've struggled in relationships, hoping that tomorrow it's going to get better. So, the both of us can enjoy our lives together. But all that hasn't worked. You can ask, what did you bring to the table? I am not bringing anything to the table. I have brought so much to some tables that the tables crashed. So right now I've got nothing to offer. I'm just this lazy, over 30 woman who just needs to be pampered at this stage in her life.
Single mothers often seem overly focused on their status. They frequently mention being a single mom in their social media posts, bios, and conversations. When faced with challenges, they tend to attribute them to their single parent status, often expressing feelings of unfairness or victimization. Dating a single mom is very hard cause of their sense of entitlement. Despite being a single mom, they set ridiculous and pitiful conditions for a man to date them. She wants a man to take her on vacations, shopping sprees, 5-star dinners, yet she has nothing to offer in return. It's stupid to think that a man should be ready to accept her kids, whom don't belong to him, expecting the man to take that responsibility. Many single moms will claim they're not looking for a man to be responsible for her kids' well-being, but as soon as the man is in her life, that story changes quick. There's a concern that some simps might be too willing to accept these single women, potentially contributing to the number of entitled single moms. If men were less tolerant, fewer women would become entitled single moms. These women made poor choices in their relationships, preferring Chads and Tyrones, leading to their current situation. They may have had unrealistic expectations for their partners, contributing to their single status. Additionally, having a child when there's a high risk of single parenthood is seen as a questionable decision. Single mothers shouldn't receive special treatments based on these circumstances.
Honey, I'm home! I forgot. I'm not married. So I deleted all my dating apps. I'm gonna meet dudes the old-fashioned way. Prison letters.
Now, I'm not really one for negativity and I don't like to post personal stuff or anything on a page, but you know what really gets on my nerves, and I'm sure a lot of people feel the same. So when a child's father finds a new girlfriend and then leaves the children, somehow becomes unavailable for the dates and days that they usually take them, and moves them dates and days, even though it's only like a half an hour, by a wee frappuccino date. Yeah, man up. If us women was to do that, what state would the world be in? Where would the children be? Do you know? It's ridiculous, disgusting, and it'll probably only last a couple of months, and then he'll be back looking at his children.
Why do men hate single mothers, and why do single mothers threaten the structure that holds capitalism together? What? So obviously there are surface reasons that men have given as to why they don't like single mothers. But I think at the root of all these criticisms is the idea that a woman should need a man, and if she doesn't, then she is a threat to the nuclear family structure, and therefore she's a threat to capitalism as a whole.
Single mothers are often less desirable due to their past experiences. They view their single mother status as a badge of honor. Single moms with baggage are often seen as less attractive to potential partners. Some single mothers may engage in behaviors that are seen as negative, such as seeking financial benefits or neglecting their parental responsibilities. Single moms do threaten the structure that holds capitalism together. Single moms represent an increased financial burden on social welfare systems. They may require public assistance for childcare, housing, and other needs, which can be viewed as a strain on public resources and taxpayer money. Single mothers disrupt the traditional labor market due to their need for flexible working hours or part-time jobs to balance childcare responsibilities. This can be seen as a challenge to the ideal of a full-time, stable workforce that capitalism often depends on for productivity and economic growth. Single motherhood undermines traditional family structures, which are viewed as foundational to societal stability and economic productivity. This view posits that traditional family units are better for economic and social stability, and deviations from this norm are seen as problematic. Some single mothers are more likely to rely on long-term welfare assistance, potentially fostering a cycle of dependency rather than self-sufficiency. Critics argue this can undermine the capitalist ideal of individuals being economically self-reliant and contributing to economic growth.
And the men who need their dishes washed, clothes cleaned, food cooked, and asses wiped do not want that shit being perpetuated. So they shame single mothers instead of praising them for being the parent who stayed. And if rich men are going to ensure that poor men, aka the overwhelming majority of men, aren't going to them, then they need to pacify poor men in order to make them feel just as privileged as they actually are. Single mothers, especially the ones that have formed community with each other, are proof that society does not have to be ran the way rich, cis-het white men want it run, and that terrifies them. Single mothers, I know it is rough out here, but I am rooting for you.
Men do not want to date these types of single moms who feel entitled, special, and the best thing since sliced bread. Most men don't want to take care of another man or men's mess and leftovers. Most single moms are still looking for that ideal partner who is over 6 feet tall, makes 6 figures or more and ends up again and again dating Chads and Tyrones, diminishing their value and desirability to most men. Dating a single mother is often seen as having significant drawbacks without the benefits of parenthood. Many believe that single mothers have had numerous past relationships and tend to focus on their struggles. They may not be financially stable or have much to offer in a relationship. It's argued that single mothers are unlikely to become wives or suitable life partners for serious relationships. When a woman has a child, her priorities shift, and she may not be able to fully dedicate herself to a romantic partner. This can lead to feelings of being second best or having a lower priority in her life. Additionally, single mothers often maintain contact with their child's father, which can create challenges and complexities in a new relationship. This can involve dealing with the ex-partner's presence and potential ongoing contact.
How many kids you got?
I got 3. I have 3. I should have said 0. Because it's just me. I have 3, but it's just me. I'm a single parent. There's no man in my life.
Man in your life? Why is the
My
reason
boys.
for there no man in your life?
Well, my first child, his father passed away, and the other 2 are nowhere to be found. So, what can you do?
They do you like that? What's wrong with them?
Only God
Or
knows.
is there something wrong with you?
Possibly, but I think I'm just fine.
I think you're just fine as well.
Thank you.
Right. But to say that a 41-year-old man is disqualified because of his parents,
You're 41?
I'll be 41 in September.
Okay, because I was like, I thought you said 40.
I'll be 41 in September. That's coming up.
I like it. It's okay for you. It's not my style. You know, with everything going on.
I was raised by a single mother, and single mothers, they do a great job. which is why when I have kids, they'll also be raised by a single mom. I don't want to get in the way.
A lot of men actually love single moms. I was a single mom, right? And I know a lot of you guys have so many limiting beliefs that men don't want single moms. All the men that were interested in me, none of them had kids. Some of them had never been married, and they were all ready to be in a relationship with me and take responsibility of my son. I got no child support, none of that. They were willing to do that. Why? Because when you can show them that you are so ready to accept a man's providing, that you're going to be so grateful for it, that you're going to find so much pleasure in his providing, and he gets to be a part of this world that you have already built, and you want to share this experience with him, that's why men want to be a part of single moms' lives.
A lot of these women are raising their sons to believe that women can do absolutely no wrong. And then you wonder why divorce rates are high. Talking about the spark is gone and they're not happy. A lot of these single mothers out here, they have this loathing nature towards men so bad that if they have a son, they treat him in the ways that they wish that they could have treated their ex when he was stripping them, when he was this or when he was that. Hence why we have men that have a lot of trauma from their mothers because of the way that their mothers emasculated them on a daily basis, because in a lot of these women's mind, they're trying to get that get back to the men that are no longer answering the phone. They want to raise this young man to be the type of man that takes anything. His woman can say whatever she wants. She can treat him however she wants. She can disrespect him. She can do all the above. It is normalized in society for mothers to mistreat their sons for the sake of siding with other women, just for the sake of sisterhood.
If you learn nothing else as a woman, I hope you learn this, that there is a difference between a man who wants to provide for you and a man who wants you to believe he's providing for you in order to control you. Because if there's anything I've learned from my 33 years on earth, it's that a woman's place is wherever she feels most at home. But that some of us have been taught to feel at home in a place that is not ours but our husband's home. Biddies, never forget that it is indeed still a man's world. And in 2024, we are not only trying to survive living in a man's world, we are trying to change the fact that for too long it has only been a man's world. Never underestimate the power of the lie we've been sold that our place is in the home rather than in the workforce. Because I've never met a woman easier to control than the one who didn't have enough money to leave. And look, I know working can be a pain sometimes, but there is no greater pain than realizing that the man you married only offered you protection in exchange for your servitude. This is a PSA to all the biddies whose dream it has been since the dawn of time to become stay-at-home mothers. You don't need to give up on that dream, but you do need to make sure that the home you choose to stay in is actually a home and not a glorified prison. One day you'll realize that it was never about choosing your career over your family, but that it was always about making sure you had choices in case you married an a-hole. And at the end of the day, please remember that it's very hard to bring anything to the table if you have no money or time to pay for it because you spent your life serving a Chad.